upcoming videos as well. So there's going to be a lot happening over these next few days.
All resources are being deployed, which brings us to Oliver Mackenzie. Hello.
Yes, Rich, the next few days and indeed possibly the next few months, he's very busy with PS5 Pro content, I suspect.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's just get straight into it. Let's talk first of all about hardware. Impressions. What do we make of the console? Now, John and I shared some initial impressions in the epoch-making unboxing video that we did. And, you know, generally, I think the takeaway was that it's a very well-built, decent console. It's much smaller than we thought. 3.1 kilograms. It's lighter than the launch model by considerable degree. I'm actually quite taken with it. I think it's pretty good, and can't comment on the thermals without ripping it apart and inserting probes, etc. But
يا شباب عاملين ايه؟ ازيك يا مصطفى؟ ازيك يا ميمين؟ لا والله انا جاي افتح لقيت ديجيتال فاوندري نزلوا الريفيو بتاع البرو اللي هو جاي لي بكره. نعمل له انبوكسنج بكره ان شاء الله.
I think it's a more attractive looking unit, and I think that actually goes a long way. But at the same time, it also feels very familiar once you actually get going, right? You slap the disk drive on there, as I did. That process, this was my first time doing that process. It went fairly smoothly, I would say.
Yeah.
Although it required a firmware update before I could actually do so.
Yes.
So it went through all that initially, get it hooked up, and then it just behaves.
Of the professional, I don't think.
مش هتفرج عليه الفيديو ساعة. هتفرج عليه لوحدي يعني. ايه الأخبار يا جماعة؟
PlayStation 4 image enhancement.
إن شاء الله أشوف يا عدنان. أنا مشكلة إن الأوضة مش جاهزة خالص. إن أنا أعمل أي ريفيوز.
Before we actually went hands-on with the unit, we were thinking maybe it's just like, okay, extra horsepower means better image quality and dynamic resolution scaling games, but that's not the case. It is a feature that's toggleable on the menu, and it does actually do something quite interesting. Now, Oliver, you're going to be doing a full video on this, but how about some cliff notes on your observations?
Yes, I'll give you the rundown here. So essentially, you boot up your PS5 Pro, go into that display settings menu. There's an option to enhance image quality for PS4 games. It says enhance image quality in the settings for PS4 games. It's turned on by default. So if you boot into PS4 software, you'll kind of figure out what's going on pretty quickly, I think, if you turn the setting on and off, which is that you see quite a noticeable difference in the appearance of those games. If you look at 2D elements like UI and text, they actually look quite 4K now. Text is a lot sharper. 3D content is also altered considerably, like in a game like Destiny, where the aliasing artifacts in the original have been smoothed a little bit. The lines look clear. The image almost looks like it has anti-aliasing that's being
الكلام ده على شاشة كبيرة فارق على فكرة يا
جماعة.
جماعة.
Lines with a 4K pixel grid there.
مفيش
So it looks a bit cleaner. But when you do resolution counts, you quickly realize like, okay, this is a filter because the base game content is still being rendered at the same resolution. You're not getting any kind of additional grunt there. You're really getting a post-process filter, it appears like. The issue is that it doesn't really do anything for temporal aliasing, given that it's probably working on a single frame as input. As a post-process, it gets tripped up pretty easily by post-processing. So if you have like chromatic aberration, it doesn't really know what to do with that. If you have film grain, like I played The Order, and it just doesn't really know what to do with it, so it doesn't do too much, it seems like, because there's film grain all over the image. It also doesn't seem to apply to games that output above 1080p. So like in Overwatch 2, for instance, that's a 1080p game, but the UI is 4K. It doesn't apply at all. So I think it's a good idea. I think it's cool. I have done some comparisons that I'll go into in a standalone video with LS1, which is a lossless scaling machine learning algorithm. I've also done some comparisons with FSR, with the RTX super resolution that's available on NVIDIA GPUs. And it is kind of comparable to those solutions. I would say.
بالظبط زي ما مصطفى بيقول كده أكيد ما يستاهلش الثمن بتاعه يعني.
It can give you a noticeable improvement.
زي البلاي ستيشن 4 برو
بصراحة. It's not going to be like DLSS or
أنا
PSSR
اشتريته برضه نفس
or FSR2 or any of these other solutions that can do so much with so many more inputs. Obviously, then a simple post-process filter could
الواد ده عسل جدا على فكرة. الواد ده بالذات الواد اللي بيتكلم ده. مساء النور يا ومزي.
At the moment, it's kind of a nice-to-have feature. Don't buy a PS5 Pro for this. That's basically the takeaway. But it's nice. It's nice to have it. It's nice to see Sony caring about this stuff, and I think it is kind of cool for these older PS4 titles in particular, where they can't take advantage of PS5 Pro very well normally.
But let's move on. Okay then, so one of the key features of
ايه
PlayStation
الالعاب
5
بقى اللي
Professional
اتعمل
is the fact
لها
that
enhanced
existing
versions؟
PlayStation 5 games should in theory run better thanks to the Game Boost feature. So I had the pleasure of testing Game Boost, which we can now confirm deploys the full power or something close to it of the PlayStation 5 Pro to non-pro games. They run faster, and we all know which game we had to test first, Elden Ring. I'm using the quality mode here, which runs at a fixed 4K with fixed quality settings. Both of those elements are kind of dynamic in the performance mode, but we'll get onto that shortly.
اكبر لكم شاشة؟
Quality mode. So this is good for like comparisons to get some sort of grip on the performance differential. So here's the thing, you won't get a locked 60 frames per second on PlayStation 5 in
ازاي
PlayStation
يعني؟
5 Pro.
لو ما عندك، طب ما هو نفس الكلام على فكرة في البلاي ستيشن 5، لو ما عندكش اسمه دوت شاشة 2.1 مش هتستفاد برضه.
48 to 60 FPS
باشا كده كده الشاشة خلاص بقت إجباري.
for most play.
بس ده فرق كبير يا جماعة، ده فرق 13 فريم في الكواليتي مود، ده رقم كبير جدا بالذات في لعبة زي Elden Ring.
Obviously the GPU is underutilized, so the percentage will be lower. It's in areas of gameplay where the Pro is under 60 that you should see how much extra performance the Pro gives. Seems to max out at around 35%, a typical 30 to 35% delta. So yeah, not a locked 60 in quality mode. However, then I tested the frame rate mode, dynamic resolution, dynamic features. It should be locked to 60 easily, but it's not. So I'm guessing possibly the game's DRS system doesn't quite know what to do with the horsepower. There's also the possibility that we're CPU limited in some respect. Even so, VRR will smooth this out. So the Pro, still the best place to play on consoles, even if it's not everything we want it to be. You gave this a go, didn't you, John?
Yeah, because this is a game that I played through on Xbox Series X. That was previously the best place to play it because of the wider VRR window, but obviously it regularly falls into the 40s. The PS5 Pro essentially solves that completely. As you say, performance mode in my testing was able to stay well in the VRR range pretty much all the time. So it's very smooth, and that's the mode I use on Xbox.
That's cool.
And that PS5 also gets per object motion blur, which looks really good, which the Xbox
الله يبارك
doesn't
فيك يا
seem
عم
to use in that mode for some reason. And then what surprised me was that the quality mode is actually very usable now, and that runs better than
بالظبط. هي دي على فكرة، هي دي الحاجة الوحيدة اللي انا هستفادها من الموضوع ده، ان فعلا الكواليتي مود لما هي الكواليتي مود هيديني 50 فريم، انا مش فارق معايا ال 10 فريم بصراحة، انا هلعب كواليتي مود مش هلعب.
And it's usually in the 50s, and it's a noticeable boost in sort of like clarity, and it's still fluid. So I thought that was a huge improvement in my experience, and I kind of want to dig back into it because I did not play the DLC yet.
انا لعبته بس ما قفلتوش.
Start over and play through on PS5. I bought a physical copy in Japan and gonna go through it. So
يا ابن اللذيكة، سافرت اليابان؟ نفسي اسافر اليابان.
I also did some tests against the PC version at quality mode. Quality mode settings equivalents, basically, or as close as we could get to it, up against the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. So fixed 4K there, fixed settings. I'm using an RX 6800 here, as many believe it offers pro level performance. The thing is, though, the 6800, there are PC style stutters throughout, but in terms of actual gameplay, it's way
ثانية كده، هو الكارت اللي هو بيستخدمه ده لو هو اللي في بالي يبقى معلش انا اسف يعني. RX 6800 برايس UAE مثلا عندنا هنا. اوكي، الكارت لوحده بيتراوح ثمنه، اللي هو بيجرب بيه ده. البلاي ستيشن عندي هنا ال5 برو عامل 3000 درهم، الكارت بيتراوح ثمنه من 1000 لا من 1000 هو بيتكلم على انهي؟ مش الاكس تي، ماشي ثانية واحدة، لا احنا عايزين نقول مش اكس تي كور. 1700 ده، بسم الله ما شاء الله، 16 جيجا رام، ده احسن من الكارت بتاعي على فكرة في حاجات في الرامات. اوكي، ده الكارت لوحده ب 1700. ماشي، الجهاز عندي هنا عامل حوالي، انا بدور بشوف يمكن الاقيه بسعر احسن. ماشي، الجهاز هنا هو بحوالي 1800 1717 73. لا ما بلعتش حاجة. عبد الجن، انت ما بلعتش حاجة يا باشا، عادي جدا. انت هتلعب عادي بس هتلعب بدول بدل ما تلعب بدول. عايز تجيب دول العب على الكواليتي مود، قصدي على البرفورمانس مود. فاهم؟ هو بس ده الحاجة الوحيدة يعني انا مش شايف ان حد يعور نفسه يشتريه ب $700. هو مش ب $700، هو بحوالي 3000 درهم. انا اشتريته بالظبط 3000 درهم. جاي لي بكره وجاي لي النسخه بتاعت احمد مصطفى، فهفتحهم هما الاثنين رخامه. اوكي.
So I'm going to be interested to do
لا
more
يعني
sort
شايف
of
عشان
quality
تجمع كيس
comparisons,
نفسه
performance comparisons between various PC parts and the Pro based on real world performance. Right now, all of the sort of conjecture about the performance of the PlayStation 5 Pro has been based on Sony's statement
بس
that it's
التاني ثابت.
45%
التاني
faster.
بي سي
But
يا معلم
certainly,
ما
Game
بيهركش.
Boost, it rarely gets there. I was also curious about ray tracing support on the Pro and whether Game Boost taps into the extra features, because the Pro has extra RT features, right? I was curious if the backwards compatibility would kick in with those features, similar to the way it does on a PC, but I don't think it does. So I'm using control in photo mode here, which unlocks frame rate, and of course, we have returned to the corridor of doom. The first comparison seems to offer a performance boost in the region of about 31%, kind of similar to the Elden Ring boosts. The following
يبقى مايكل سيري يا جدعان اللي قاله صح. هو فعلا كان بيتكلم في 30%
boost
صح.
Also did a couple of scenes outside.
ايش رايك في الكارت ال 40 60؟ عنده واحد صاحبي كويس جدا.
The Pro can run faster, still similar differentials overall, 33%. So back compat can't tie into the extra RT features of the Pro as far as I know. It just taps into the raw performance. Yeah, so that's quite interesting. I mean, it's great, but it has its limitations. But I think there's genuine application in the 120 hertz mode. Devil May Cry here, special edition. You can unlock the game to run in 120 hertz mode. I'm using, first of all, graphics mode with ray tracing, which essentially removes the 60 FPS limit, so we always have that differential there. I tried the info in graphics mode. Very similar performance increases overall, but there are some instances where it does seem to go higher than that 35% threshold. Maybe it's the sampling rate on my performance comparisons there, which is higher in 120 hertz mode, but who knows. In performance mode, though, still with RT enabled, the differentials can go higher. But I think the key point here really is that with VRR performance RT mode, you're just getting a better high frame rate gameplay experience. I think you'd agree with that, right, John?
Absolutely, yeah. I think this is really important too, because this is one of those weird games that never received a PC update, right? It's only Devil May Cry 5 Standard Edition on PC without the ray tracing. And because of the performance demands of this game, DMC5 SE was never really possible to really enjoy the ray tracing mode, I felt. You had to settle for not a great frame rate if you want a decent looking ray tracing. Finally, it feels like it runs the way you would expect. And I found the quality mode with ray tracing in VR
30% فرق FPS ده مهم يعني، مش فرق عبيط يعني.
It stays pretty much above 60 by and large, and it just feels responsive and it looks great.
انتوا عارفين احنا نلوم مين على سوني بتعمله ده؟ مين هيقول نلوم مين؟
By the way, it's still a stunning looking game.
Oliver, do you have any thoughts on Game Boost? Did you give it a go?
I did give Game Boost a go, and the first protocol for me was Metaphor Fantasio, because that game kind of infamously does not run at anything like a stable frame rate on PlayStation 5 consoles, on Xbox Series consoles, basically on anything almost. It runs at 1656p and it's like 40 to 60 FPS-ish on PS5. It's not a good experience. Totally like unlocked frame rate. It also has a 120 hertz mode, which again does not work well because the game dips even below the VRR window on PlayStation 5 quite frequently. I speculated in my video last month that PS5 Pro would basically fix it, and lo and behold, it has. It's basically a locked 60 FPS now. It's a very smooth experience, even in areas where the base console was really struggling. In spots, at the worst I saw was in a spot where the base console was like 44 FPS, 43 FPS. PS5 Pro was like 55, 56, 57. And that's like a pretty extreme scenario. So even without VRR, this game is totally saved. Great experience. And this is like probably the most challenged recent release I've seen on the consoles in terms of hitting a consistent frame rate. And it is obviously a very popular game now. Lots of people are playing it. And I think it's just about perfect now on PS5 Pro. So if you get the most powerful console in the world, you can have a game that looks about 10 years out of date running at a stable 60 FPS on a console if you spend $700 on a console.
بالظبط تدفع $700
علشان تجيب تشغل. One other game I tried out was FF16.
Which
ran unlocked in
في ناس مش عايزين يقولوا
most of the time, much of the time except in combat. John covered that, obviously. Weird behavior there. I did not play too much, but Pro unfortunately does not deliver a locked 60 FPS.
لا
it's like in the 50s a lot. I think there, what might be happening is the dynamic res is just kicking in, and it's not load balancing in a way that we would like, probably, because it does have a dynamic resolution system. So it's kind of like there's some positives here, a big positives with the boost potentially, and it does apply, by the way, to all games. There's no way to turn it off. It's just always using the whole GPU. That's important to note. There's no like PS4 Pro style game enhancement might break your games. In this case, they're just applying it to all games, it seems like. I think that even though it isn't like a gigantic improvement in some titles, because of dynamic res, because of VRR and lots of titles with unlocked modes, because of the occasional odd title like Metaphor Fantasio that's just like running in a slightly messed up manner, I think that there are probably a lot of examples here, and we're probably just scratching the surface a little bit of what can be done with this, but yeah, I think there are a lot that will get decent enhancements from
اللي شايفين لا شايفين لا
really help people with like big libraries play older titles that especially that might have VRR modes. You know, those unlocked VRR modes in lots of games, they don't run so well necessarily on base PS5.
اختيار اكس بوكس ان هم يكونوا سيئين، ما حدش ضربهم على ايديهم، عندهم استوديوهات تانية كتير جدا كانوا يعملوا بيها لعب.
Silent Hill 2 benefits that may receive a patch, actually I'm not sure, but
ما فيش يا باشا، الناس لسه مجربين دلوقتي، مجربين بكارت يعني عشان يوصل يتفوق عليه. انا اسف معلش اللي انت بتقوله ده مصطفى، معلش جمع لي التجميعه واكتب لي اسعارها.
The 30 FPS mode on base PS4 actually had a lot of slowdown, which was extremely shocking anytime you would be attacked by certain enemies, and that is also eliminated, as well as the running around stutters that it suffered from. It's just a lot more consistent. Silent Hill, the short message, that little hexadrive free Silent Hill experience, also fixed now, runs at 60 FPS properly, whereas before it was extremely unstable. So that's a huge improvement there. Suicide Squad I randomly tested, and I didn't spend too much time with it, but it seemed to, those sort of skips and stutters and dips that I saw in the city have largely been cleaned up. Maybe they're also cleaned up on the base system, but it definitely felt better in my experience. Then there's three others to quickly mention. Ghostwire Tokyo, it gets much closer, but not locked to by any means the 120 hertz output. So you can play that game in 120 hertz mode, and it actually allows the frame rate to be uncapped. And in the quality mode now, you're getting mostly north of 60. And the performance mode is north of 100, I believe. So it is noticeably smoother. Which is interesting, but it still has some weird little like hiccups and stutters, which the game has always suffered from. So it did not fully fix it, but it is smoother. Armored Core 6 as well.
Put your base PlayStation 5, increase the
الرقم الصغير خالص يا جدعان في Elden Rings بالذات، الرقم الصغير.
CPU limited a bit later.
طيب الحاجات اللي معتمدة على السي بي يو مش على.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to actual game performance and what the new features of the PlayStation 5 Professional mean for all of that. And we're going to kick off with the element that's probably most contentious about it, which is the fact that the CPU isn't really changed at all from the base PlayStation 5.
ميمير ما فيش ستوكر وانديانا جونز، هم ما نزلوش لسه لحد دلوقتي، وانديانا جونز نازله في 2025 خلاص.
CPU limitations. I'm going to quickly cycle
لا البلاي ستيشن عندهم سايلنت هيل، عندهم ستيلر بليد، عندهم استروبوت،
there's actually a
عندهم
mode
فاينل
on
فانتازي.
PlayStation 5 Pro, where developers can actually opt in to having
حبيبي يا
10%
فيصل
extra CPU
طب
clock.
انطلق بقى يلا اعمل عمره بقى
And
يلا انت
that
كمان
comes at the expense of a little bit
والله
of
يا ميمير
GPU
يعني بص
performance.
لا انا مختلف معاك
So I tested it in
مايكروسوفت السنه دي
Cyberpunk
مضيعه فرصه
2077,
كبيره
which
جدا على
hasn't
نفسها
been
مايكروسوفت السنه دي
patched,
سيئه
but
جدا
this is the classic
بلاك اوبس
cherry
6
blossom
بصراحه تعتبر
marketplace
احسن لعبه عملوها
run.
بس ما تتفوقش
It's
عن
not
سايلنت
quite
هيل
fully synchronized here, but
Okay.
you can definitely see what's happening. Running around that marketplace in a circle, the frame rate dips beneath 60 frames per second, and the dip is considerably more pronounced on the base model. Still not quite 60 on the Pro model though, but you can look at the performance differentials there, and it's exactly in line with what you would expect from an extra 10% of CPU clock. So we can confirm that Game Boost isn't just boosting graphics performance, you are getting that 10% of extra CPU clock. The other test I did, and this one is for a Pro enhanced game, and that is Baldur's Gate 3, the classic city run. Act 3, we've got a save that's like 100 hours in, and we can actually do a run through the city. And you can see that on the left there, the base PlayStation 5, on the right is the Pro enhanced version of the game. We're still CPU limited, and you'll see that similar to Cyberpunk, the performance differentials are
بولدر
again
جيت
in
فشخ
line
الاجهزه
with
يا
a
جدعان
modest bump to CPU clock. So Oliver, I think this is probably the primary limitation. I mean, a lot of
بالظبط
people
هو
are
اصلا
looking
البلاي
at
ستيشن
PlayStation
5 اصلا
5
بلاي
Pro
ستيشن
thinking,
4
you know, should
لا
I
في
give
البلاي
up my
ستيشن 4
PC
برو
or you know, should I stick with
بلاي ستيشن 4
PlayStation
برو
and not
فاهم
move to
وده بلاي
PC?
ستيشن
And I
4
think
4
the
برو
defining
بلس
limitation
بالظبط
of the
يعني
Pro, which we've got to accept, is that
الجيل ده كله جيل محبط
even
جدا اصلا
mainstream CPU performance now in the PC space is significantly better than the Zen 2 in the PlayStation 5 Pro. So you've kind of got to accept that limitation with the Pro, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a mid-gen refresh console, so the emphasis is obviously not on some of those more kind of fundamental areas of the console design, I would say, like the CPU. But here, I mean, right now, high-end PC CPUs are about twice as fast as the PlayStation 5 Pro's CPU. But I think what we're seeing in most titles nowadays are that target console.
And one of those big three is enhanced ray tracing support. John, you've been looking if you can afford a $700 console. Okay, let's move on. Another aspect of the PlayStation 5 Professional that is one of the key selling points, I guess, well, there's the big three, right? And one of those big three is enhanced ray tracing support. John, you've been looking at some games, and ray tracing support has indeed been enhanced on a range of titles. What caught your eye?
Well, obviously, the first ones I wanted to check out was the Insomniac group. I'm actually working on a full video for that, so I don't want to go into too much detail here, but Spider-Man 2 is the one that received the most. And I think what I found is that the improvements are nice, but relatively subtle. And it feels like you can tell that the game wasn't necessarily arted up with this in mind from the beginning, but essentially it means things like, for instance, what they call the key light shadows. It's actually the sun shadows. It simply allows distant buildings and structures to properly cast shadows on themselves, which previously you didn't get at a distance. There's also improved RTAO, which
نشوف التفاصيل تشوفها بالميكروسكوب
occlusion shadows in spots where there previously were none, or where it was more generalized and kind of fuzzy with the solution they had in place. So that's more accurate. There's also a screen space GI pass, which I will show in more detail in the video. It's a minor thing, but it's there. This feels like Insomniac essentially like going back and adding some additional things that are kind of cool, but they don't radically alter the game's visuals.
من الاخر خالص احنا بنحكي على حته الري تريسنج
perhaps there's a little bit more to say, because that I think that's more
بالظبط
effective
يا
in terms of
تفاصيل
what it does to
يكسرني
the image quality.
Yeah,
overall.
absolutely.
But there's other games as well, right, that have RT.
انا عارف ان احسن لعبه اتطورت في الموضوع ده
One of them I wanted to note, because this is a weird one. So it's Dragon's Dogma 2, right? This one has all sorts of weirdness going on, and I gotta figure out how we're gonna talk in more detail about this. But in the daytime, the RT with PSSR enabled has like a weird splotchiness to it. It feels very unstable in a way. I think you mentioned this in your impressions before, Oliver, where it doesn't look quite right.
Anytime you move the camera, you just kind of create these huge patchy holes in the
انت
RTGI.
بتتكلم في مصر. انت
It's
في مصر
most
فعلا
obvious
لان البي سي
in the
معلوش
performance
جمارك.
PSSR mode,
البلاي
but it
ستيشن
is
عليه
present
جمارك.
across all the PSSR modes, and I checked this against the game on
انت صح يا
PS5
مصطفى،
here,
صح.
and it's not nearly
يا
as
فريماتيك
apparent
يا
there. There
سوس.
is some lag to the RTGI, but it's not nearly as apparent as with PSSR. But the upside, I guess, of this, if you can call it that, is if you do want to turn off RT, it completely disappears, this issue. But it's really distracting. I think it's kind of broken looking. I pointed it out to the Capcom reps when I was looking at it 2 months ago, and I said, this is not right? And they kind of looked at me like I was speaking Spanish. So I don't know if it'll get fixed, but it is an issue still in this launch code, unfortunately. And it is annoying, I would say.
Agreed.
الناس دي احسن ناس بيريفيو، فانا عشان كده هو اكتر واحد اللي بسمع كلامهم يعني.
30 FPS RT mode.
I have looked at Alan Wake. Alan Wake gets RT reflections in its quality mode. They look really excellent. They add a lot of depth to the game. They fix a lot of issues with SSR that can be really unflattering when SSR is off screen or even when it's on screen, because it has a kind of grain to it on PlayStation 5 and other consoles that I do not like too much. It's probably the effect from the PC version, the RT effect, that makes the biggest impact on the visuals. So it's nice to see it on Pro. They're bringing over the most impactful piece of RT tech over to the consoles there. In terms of other games,
ray tracing mode على Alan Wake بتاعت البي سي دي بيفشخ الجهاز.
And from my impressions at the PlayStation event a couple months ago, they're getting RTAO and RT reflections on top of DDGI, adding a ton of lighting detail into the game that would probably be very expensive on base PS5. Only compromise is image quality, not perfect. It does look very 4K-like, but there is some breakup in it, especially on like fine geometric elements with subpixel detail like fences and things like that. Not perfect, but still a pretty good upgrade overall.
Bloodborne دي طفلة سوني الملعونة.
Also in Hogwarts Legacy, unfortunately Hogwarts Legacy's patch is not live. When I played it a couple months ago, it was quite good, but I do want to see more of that when it does get the final patch there. There's also...
That's a bit of a mystery. Maybe we'll get some detail on that in due course. But the end result is that it is relatively efficient, I'd say, for the performance metrics. In Game Boost, for example, with Elden Ring, you're getting a lot more performance for not much more power draw, which I think is a piece of kit. It's $700 US, £700 in the UK. Prices seem to ratchet up even more in Europe, I think partly because of the VAT side of things.
Europe and Japan are real bad.
Yeah. And then you've basically, if you are invested in the physical media, which a lot of the audience are going to be, bearing in mind, who it's targeted at, you've basically got to buy that $80 optical drive. It's £100 in the UK, which is remarkable.
120 in Europe.
And then there's the whole concept of the stand that I paid £25 for.
هيجي لي بكره من غير الستاند عشان انا خفت اشتري ستاند لان مفيش حد كاتب في الاونلاين ستورز، وحتى ما عديت على الستورز بقى اللي هم جي كي وفيرتشال ومش عارف ايه، وبسالهم يا جماعه انتوا عندكم الستاندز بتاعت البرو؟ قالوا لي احنا مش عارفين الستاند بتاع السليم هيشتغل على البرو ولا لا. في الفوتج شكله بتاع البرو.
So that's not the case here.
anyway الكونكلولو ان هو boost frames which is not a big boost عشان 10 frames ولا 15 فريم تدفع $700. ده غير لو انت عندك الجهاز الفيزيكال زي حالاتي، يبقى انت عايز تجيب لك سي دي روم عشان تشغل مكتبة الالعاب اللي عندي دي، ما انا اكيد مش هرمي مكتبة الالعاب دي في الزبالة. فبكل تلقائية انا لا ارشحه لاي حد يعني. يمكن انا لبسته واشتريته، بس او اشتريته مش هقول ان انا لبسته برضو عشان انا بحقاني في يا معلم. هي فين كود؟ ماشي الجيم باس. الجيم باس انا على فكرة حطيت لك الفلوس في الفند، انت اللي متخلف مش عايز تاخد فلوس. يا اياد ايه الاخبار؟ بالظبط انت بتضيف الدي ال اس اس للبلاي ستيشن يعني بتاخد 10 فريم 15 فريم زي ما انت شفت. الرقم مش وحش بس مش هدفع عشانه $700، انا اسف جدا يعني. بالظبط، الواحد نفسه المنافسه ترجع تاني، تبقى منافسه حقيقيه مش منافسه كويركيه زي اللي احنا شايفينها دلوقتي دي. المنافسه اللي موجوده دلوقتي بصراحه is a disgrace. disgrace. يا استنوا بقى عشان اللعبة تعمل لودينج 15 مرة لحد ما نرد على الأسئلة شوية. أيوة صح، لحد دلوقتي بلاد بورن شغالة على 30 فريم بس حتى على البي اس 5. ده حقيقي يا باشا، ده هي على البي اس 5 بايظة فيها مشكلة. مش لاقي، ما ينفعش تلعبها غير على الفور. مش لاقي تفسير غير ان هم يعملوا ريماستر او ريميك ولا ايه. هم مش عارفين هم يعملوا ايه دي. هم عملوا التحفة دي يا عم، يلا خلاص بقى، خلاصي بقى عن ابو امك بقى فوق. يعني السبب الوحيد اللي عايزني اخلص اللعبة دي. انا حاسس كانك بتدفع $700 عشان تضيف الدي ال اس اس بالظبط. فكرة الحوار دلوقتي، عبد الجاني بيقول فكرة الحوار دلوقتي كده نقول بي اس احسن عشان حصريات. كنا نقول بي اس احسن عشان حصريات. دلوقتي كل حاجة بقت بتنزل على البي سي، وسي جي بيدور كل الالعاب. ده حقيقي فعلا. عم سي جي امبارح اتفرجت له على فيديو رائع جدا. بص نعمل، نعم شغل اللعبة دي ماشي يا عم. فاتح في اليوتيوب بس والله يا مصطفى، والله مش فاتح في حاجة تانية. ايه كيك كده، كيك على العالي وكيك على الواطي. انا اسف، انا اسف، انا اسف، ارجوك ما تزعلنيش كل مرة. حضرتك انت عشان خرجت، عشان دوست الت واف 4 كان زمان والله العظيم اللعبة تضربها بالجزمة كده وعادي جدا تكمل عادي، تصحى تاني يوم عادي تشغلها وصباح الفل. ما علينا. بالظبط، اللعبة اتقفلت عشان النكتة. افتكر في شركة هتاخد اكس بوكس، كان اكس بوكس. هلو، نينتندو تبقى حمقاء جدا. لا معلقة. Come on man. Come on. Come on. هنقعد 3 ساعات تانيين على بال ما نشغل اللعبة تاني. يلا بينا. اه والله تبقى يعني نينتندو تبقى حمقاء جدا بوجود وحش زي الستيم ديك والار او جي والحاجات اللي احنا بنشوفها اليومين دول على الساحة، وهي ما تروحش منزلة الكونسول الجديد بتاعها يكون كونسول فعلا قوي يشغل بقى الالعاب دي. يعني تلعب عادي جدا، اللي هو تلاقي اللعبة نازلة على السويتش ونازلة على الاكس بوكس ونازلة على على البلاي ستيشن. اقسم لكم بالله، فاهم، اللعبة هتكون فشيخة. لو اي حاجة يعني، قصدي سوري، الكونسول هيبقى فشيخ لو عملوا كده. بس هم مش هيعملوا كده. هم هيفضلوا مركزين في بتاعهم which is nice. بس يعني ده مثلا لما نحط الجهاز في الديك بتاعه يشتغل بقى 4K والحاجات بتاعت بس سكناتكم امكم. حاجه مستفزه فشخ الحوار دوت. بص عشان اللعبه تشتغل بتقعد كتير جدا، فاهم. بالظبط كده هتبقى منافسه فعلا، لان نينتندو عندهم لعب. يعني انا السنه دي لعبت على نينتندو كذا حاجه. فكرة هتشتغل المره دي ولا حصلت فيها مشكله ومش هتشتغل تاني؟ يبقى اللعبه اللي عجبتني ما اشتغلتش خلاص. الكول اوف ديوتي اللي ما عجبتنيش فعجبتني في سنين. اتمنى يسد مكان اكس بوكس، اتمنى فعلا ان هو يسد مكان اكس بوكس يعني. انا مش شايف. نو يا عم ما تشغلهاش على ام السيف مود. هتشغلها لي ليه على السيد يا عم؟ هو انت بتعاقبني يا عم عشان دوست الت اف 4 بجد فعلا؟ ما هو اصلا يعني روك ستار طلعت صرحت كده شباب جي تي اي ثانيه بس عشان هو بيهنج لما بيخش على اللعبه. قال لك تصريح يعني واضح جدا يا شباب، لو جي تي اي 6 هتشتغل على الاكس بوكس سيريس اكس والبلاي ستيشن 5 ب 30 فريم يبقى اللعبه هتشتغل ان شاء الله تشتغل. اللعبه هتشتغل على اسمه ده على البلاي ستيشن 5 برو ب 30 فريم. اصل خلي بالك القفزه النوعيه ديت مش فارقه كبيره قوي عن الاكس بوكس. هو في قفزه بس يعني الاكس بوكس برضه مش ميت يعني بالنسبه لها. فانت لو عندك اكس بوكس سيريس اكس مش هتحس بالفرق قوي.
Grab the other end, will you? Good to see you up. I imagine that bender you were on is still taking a toll. And you know, learning that your friend is a huge bitch.
مين اللي بتشتميه ده
At least you
بنت؟
missed the house collapse last night. Right into the water. I don't know about
هو
you.
الواد اتفشخ بصراحة، اتعامل
I
معاه
might start sleeping outside.
الجلاشة يعني.
Let's drop them right here. Somebody. I don't want to bother Marshall. What? This again?
It's near the end of the video. Listen.
Okay.
Listen. I was able to isolate Gusev's audio. This moment in the background. Now.
Still waiting for B-24, a wire from Fuchina.
B-24, a wire from Fuchina.
Who the hell's Fuchina?
I have no idea.
Not who. What? Fucina is the casino Lutazzi. Only the Lutazzis and their business partners use that alias.
مش بتشتغل عندي بالعربي عشان انا الاكونت بتاعي امريكاني، مش عارف ليه مش لاقي اللغة. لو تعرف ازاي اغير اللغة قول لي.
Not bad. What about B-24?
I have done some work for the Lutazzis, regrettable yet profitable. I have a contact that might be willing to shed light on that.
Let's help Felix connect the dots here. So have you two. We need a plan.
Marshall! Can I talk to you? You're unusually quiet.
Give me a hand with this.
Harrow meant that much to you?
We working or we talking?
Not trying to push. It's clear you're taking this pretty hard.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
Yes. I suppose I would.
بيعملوا ايه؟ انا مش فاهم حاجة. حصل فلود ده اللي هي قالته يعني.
Don't.
What?
Don't act like you know how I'm feeling.
Your pain is your own, Marshall. But I'm no stranger to betrayal.
Yeah? How about when the person you trusted the most turns out to be a supervillain? How about that?
Tragedy is not a competition.
I don't want to pep talk right now.
I am trying to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
And you think that this is what I need right now?
يعني الكاركترز ابتدت تجرو جواه يعني.
I was once like you. Did what I was told. Trusted what the people in my life told me. Know what that got me?
A life of crime.
Loss. The only person real in my life. The only person who saw me.
ما شاء الله.
Real me.
الحاجة الوحيدة اللي اتعملت هنا
Forever. And I pulled the trigger.
Sav,
No, the rules have changed! game hasn't. Either accept defeat or take a stand.
انتوا طالعين تتخانقوا، اروح اعمل مهم. على فكرة مبوظ لي الكنترولز، حاجة زبالة. Felix dug into the video on the disk and heard Pantheon referencing Casino.
B24
هيجي دلوقتي الاكشن وضرب النار.
refers to a safe deposit box contained within the Casino Lutazi's archive room. As for the wire mentioned on the disk, I assume the Pantheon is funding their research through laundered casino money.
Whatever's in that box, my money says it points us right to Gusev.
That's the hope. So we're gonna blow open their vault, but it's not the cash we're after.
Inside the vault is the only place I can override the archive room's security.
And while the Lutazis are distracted by our heist, Case is gonna infill the archive room and find the box.
Even getting close to that room will be...
The heist?
Not if casino security escorts Case right into the wing containing the archive room.
Where they usually question persons of interest.
Case is going to get captured on purpose.
Precisely.
It's dangerous, and it's gonna take all 5 of us to pull it off. Starting with me at the high roller table. Winning big there sets our whole plan into motion.
We'll be ready.
I know you will. Let's find out what the Pantheon's hiding in that casino. Wood, you ready?
اوكي. هيبقوا مخبيني يعني المصل مثلا.
All set.
Ciao, welcome to Casino Lutazzi.
Chips, please. Your boy here is feeling real lucky.
Very good, signore. Do you have any weapons that need to be checked?
Right. Probably don't want sore losers walking around strapped.
Grazie. Enjoy.
This place
طبعا
is
دي هي.
something else.
Marshal, walk over to the sign in front of the card display. To the
لا
right of
مش
the
هي.
bar.
On my way.
I'm still nervous.
This place is bringing back bad memories.
House always wins, Sav.
I was in here to gamble. Guild business. It wasn't pretty. These days, Casino Lutazzi is a neutral space. The other Avalon factions respect that.
It was one of the best I have ever had.
ده عامل زي اسمه ايه ده؟ بتاع جون ويك. الكازينو والاوتيل بتاع جون ويك. ها ينفع العب؟
Ciao, signore. You look like someone who appreciates luxury and finesse. And an edge. In bocca al lupo.
Time to play some poker, Marshal. Gotta win that hoity-toity high roller bar. Only way we'll get access to the lounge.
And the high roller lounge has what we'll need next.
So, how is your wife doing? Don't go there. I picked the wrong table.
ما تعرفونيش. انا في البوكر ما عنديش ياما ارحميني. انا ياما لعبت اسمها ايه ديت؟ لعبت ريد ديد.
There is no shame in losing, Mr.
Marshal.
Mr. Marshall.
Welcome, signore. The game is Hold'em Poker, with the winner receiving the high roller bar.
Looking forward to it.
All set, Case. You know the score. Gotta tap all 3 junction boxes to give me the full view.
جون ويك. ليه يا شباب؟ ليه يا شباب كده؟ ليه يا شباب تعملوا في الراجل كده؟ ورده في المهمة بتاعت تعالى يلا بالظبط. الله يرحمك يا زميلي. اوه ماي جاد كان هيشوفني. لا اديله انيميشن مختلف. كان هيشوفني ابن اللذينه. شوت. Shoot! This is not how it should have gone. مهمة اختيار المعلم رشدان فعلا. تعالى يا اسطى تعالى. انزل بس المية بس كده. تعالى. يا جدع باظت الخطة فعلا. بس دي مش ميتال جير خالص. لا الحتة صعبة قوي على فكرة بالفيرست بيرسون. او انا اللي نوب. كابيتو في عربيته. انت ميت كده ليه يا ده رخيص يا هتموت زي الرجاله. بس هيتمان ما بيعملش مارك اند اكسكيوت. هيتمان عنده القدره اللي هي على بيديتكت بيها الانيميز دي. بصراحه قدره مهمه. Ah!
You know the score. Gotta tap all 3 junction boxes to give me the full view.
This is so اصلا مش عارف هم يلقوا مني ليه لما انا نزلت تحت الميه. فضلت تحت الميه.
On the main floor. It's real swanky. 2 to go.
Tutto tranquillo.
Capito. Tienimi aggiornato.
سكوبرتو مات. ليه انا ما اتشفتش؟ انا ما اتشفتش يلعن ابو غبائك. يعني هو حافظين مش فاهمين. انا اصلا ما اتشفتش وانا بضربه اول مره.
visto dove è andato? Rastrellate quest'area. Tu!
And give yourself up, Case. They'll haul you to the back of the casino. Get you close to the archive room. Actually, some security waiting outside the door. This should be easy.
Posizione è da queste parti.
حلو المسدس ده. قلت
Get ready.
Well, what do we
فعلا
have here? Looks like a little sewer rat. Let's talk. In private.
فعلا يعني هو قايل له ان في سكيورتي في المكان واتمسك برضه. ده انت
That'll do it. Case is in.
ماشي. This was the plan. هي دي الخطة.
Marshal, your time to shine. Win that table and you'll have access to the High Roller Lounge. My new friend here is so generous. He keeps giving me all his chips.
Where I'm from, we teach our kids to win with grace and humility.
I'm afraid you are not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. This is a game for adults, not school children. That bar is mine.
I got a camera feed behind that schmuck. Time to turn your luck around.
We here to talk or play cards?
Bet. Go.
Our fearless American does not know when to take a bow, huh?
Bet.
I can't see his damn cards. Shake things up a little.
Mr. Marshall learned grace and humility, but not arithmetic.
He's got 9 and 10 of clubs. Nothing there. Raise.
Raise.
يا جماعة أنا لعبت ريد ديد. هم مش عارفين إن أنا لعبت ريد ديد قبل كده.
Call.
محدش يعرف يغلبني في البوكر أبدا.
Should I practice mercy, ma chérie?
He's bluffing. He still ain't got shit.
Signore Bado checks.
Raise it.
Signore Marshall bets.
You got this, motherfucker.
Call. And now, the final card.
His only chance is... God damn, lucky bastard got us straight.
All in.
Sev, do your thing. Marshall, whatever's up your sleeve, time to use it.
Your drink, signore.
You must be...
I'm so sorry, sir. Please, let me help.
What are you doing?
I'm terribly
Stop.
sorry.
You're making it worse. Just leave me alone, huh?
Oh, man. You need a minute?
No. Just
أنا ما أعرفش أختار إيه.
go away. Continue the game.
All in. Gentlemen, showdown please. A straight, 7 to the jack. Signor Bado wins.
As expected.
أنت حمار ابن تيت. هو مرة واحدة راح قايل لي اختار.
I'm so sorry, sir. Please, let him help.
High card.
What are you doing?
I'm terribly
Stop.
sorry.
You're making it worse. Leave me alone, huh?
خسرت.
Oh, man. You need a minute?
No. Just go away. Continue the game.
All in. Gentlemen, showdown please. A straight, 7 to the jack. Signor Bado wins.
As expected.
أنا ما فهمتش. أنا بتبقى هاي كارد يعني المفروض كان هيديني ولد تاني زيها. I got full house. Okay, full house.
What are you doing?
No.
You're making it worse.
Full house.
Leave me alone, huh?
Oh, man. You need a minute?
No. Just go away. Continue the game.
All in. Gentlemen, showdown please. Full house.
What?
Sevens full of jacks. Signor Marshall wins.
How did this happen?
يا اسطى خد البنتين وروح اتفسح يا اسطى انت ومالكش دعوه بينا.
Good game.
خد البنتين انت يا اسطى، خد انت البنات وانا هروح انفذ
To
المهمه.
the high roller lounge. What? You see
ايه عشان تفيكس امريكا زي ما ترامبو النهارده كان بيقول.
That's what we need. Once I get in and create the distraction, I'll grab the card and hand it off to Felix.
Felix, you in position? Of course.
الحمد لله. يا عيني عليا انا متبهدل خالص يا جدعان. بس انا عايز العبها بصراحه.
Sorry, signore. You'll need
one of these.
Congratulations. Come right in.
He's inside.
Marshal, head to your right. You can place the scrambler on the slot machine closest to the double doors.
Felix, you're almost up.
تجيني الفلوس.
I need you all to clear the area. You cannot claim these winnings. Signore, stop. Signore, please. The cooperation is greatly appreciated. Please, the machine is malfunctioning. You can't claim it. Get back here. Finally. Took you long.
What seems to be the problem?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Now's your
I
chance.
did warn management that these machines seemed particularly tempered. Like I told you, the problem isn't the machines. I'll need to reset the server.
Do it.
Hey, man. This lady needs a bucket to carry those winnings.
Signore, I'm sorry.
Or maybe some of those canvas bags with some big dollar signs on them.
Please understand, there's been a technical issue with
Now
working
get to the
things
server room and reset those slot machines, Felix.
like this.
I'll route to the server room. After resetting the machines, I'll move to the next phase. Animals.
اوه ماي جاد انيمالز يا جماعه، انيمالز بيعذبوا المساجين.
Hey, what's taking so long? We need these slots back up. Need to reset that server, Felix.
يا مارسلينو
We're good now.
الله ينعم عليك يا حب.
Now, to reprogram this keycard. After that, we'll have access to the armory and elevator.
Use that keypad,
حاضر
Felix.
حاضر يا عمودز. الواد دوت ما بيقتلش حد يا ابن الحزينه.
Heading into heavy security. Stay in the blind spots.
I'd wager the previous code will work here as well.
There's a vent in there you might be able to use.
Cosa è stato?
كابيتو مين بس؟ هيمسكني كابيتو.
Capito. Vai a controllare. Controlla e fai rapporto.
كابيتو هيمسكني. ارجوك يا كابيتو لا. سيبني اعيش ارجوك.
Ok, torniamo indietro. Confermo.
ready اخلص يا عم. شطح دي اللي كانت هتبقى ميتال جير فعلا.
The computer I need is in this room. I can use it to reprogram the keycard.
Riesci a sentirmi? Fai rapporto.
Tutto libero.
Ho sentito.
Oh shit. كابيتو ارجوك يا كابيتو ما تشوفنيش. كابيتو دخل. الله يسامحك يا كابيتو. معهوش اي حاجه.
Qui tutto a posto, torniamo indietro.
Giving the keycard armory and elevated access.
شوت. كابيتو دوت هيفضل شايفنا كده كتير. كابيتو ده مزعج جدا وانت ما منكش لازمه. خلاص يا عم كابيتو صلي على النبي في قلبك.
Area in sicurezza.
Confermo. Continua così.
هيمشي كابيتو ولا لا؟ طيب الكونكلوجن بتاع المهمة دي انها مش عجباني قوي يعني بصراحة يعني. كابيتو مشي. يلا يلا بسرعة يلا حل المشكلة. 251 2 سي 5 او 1 9 قصدي 9 بي 1 واي كوبي 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 بسرعة كوبي. 6 سي برضو 9 ايه 3 ار ار 4 دي كوبي كارد.
Done. Moving to the rendezvous point.
I'll be there.
Something stirred those assholes up, Felix.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't come from here. Don't come from here. Let me go. No, 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 no. Ah! Please. Let me go. اوكي. انا بيعجبني بقى جدا الكلام دوت بقى. بص الانجن بتاع اللعبه 3000. اوعى اوعى يا اسطى. شيت. قلت هعملها خلاص. No.
I'd wager the previous call will work here as well.
الو. معلش. صوتكم عالي جدا يا جماعة. صح الولاد. Capito.
Che mi dici? Tutto a posto.
Capito.
There's a vent in there you might be able to use.
Visto qualcosa? Vai a vedere. Fai rapporto se trovi qualcosa.
Capito. بالظبط. هو ليه عادها من الاول بالظبط؟ يعني انا قلت حاجه وسخه. عادها من الاول. كابيتو. عارف قالوا كام كابيتو لحد دلوقتي؟ حاسس انها لعبة بلاي ستيشن 2. عارف انت؟ ها غيروا اهوت خلاص بقت كابوتو. برضه كابيتو.
The computer I need is in this room. I can use it to reprogram the keycard. Given the keycard, armory, and elevated access. Done. Moving to the rendezvous point.
I'll be there.
Something stirred those assholes up, Felix.
Okay, calm down.
Felix. Get that card to Sev. We're one step closer to kicking off the heist. Once we have that distraction going, Case can make his move.
Back on the casino floor.
How's the drink sound right about now?
Quite welcome.
Head straight for the bar, then.
Schnapps, please. On the rocks.
Right away, signore. Here you are. Enjoy.
Danke.
On the entry. Cards in hand, heading downstairs. Hey! Here. I'm taking my break.
With that card, you now have access to the heist.
نايس هايست ميشن بس ستيل الاتنشن بتاع التفاصيل مش احسن حاجه.
She's in.
Sev, get to the elevator on the bottom floor. Send it up for me and Felix.
فعلا تفتكر ان هو مش موجود مثلا؟
Area in sicurezza.
Confermo.
قصدي والله دوست على الزرار غلط.
Ho sentito. Vai a verificare. Se trovi qualcosa fammi sapere.
اروح لحد عنده الكهرب فيه. ما شاء الله عليك ذكي جدا. كابيتو.
Sto impazzendo. L'hai visto anche tu? Vai a controllare.
Confermo. Vedi come sta.
Ho trovato un nemico. Attacco.
والله العظيم دوست كده المرة دي. Shoot.
Vieni fuori. Ho appena sentito qualcosa.
Capito. Vai a verificare.
Come è andato? Nemico. Riparo. Ti copro io.
Guarda che astonto هو. بالظبط احسن. جاسوس انا مش هينفع ابقى جاسوس. لا بس الستيلز ميكانكس بتاعت اللعبه فقيره جدا يعني. ما ينفعش تبني اللعبه كلها على الستيلز ميكانكس دي يعني. بتشاشور يا اسطى قلتلي. ماشي طب كنت قول لي طب ان انت منين جاي هنا تشاشور تبع الششوار. كاميرات مش شغالة زينة بس. دي ماني. طب ما تاخد ماني طيب اديني ماني. give me more money. فعلا هو انا كل دوت كنت المفروض على زرار الاسانسير. انا غبي.
All yours, boys. I'm off to the armory.
After you load it up, it's time to hit the vault. We'll meet you there.
In the armory. Quite the collection.
Grab whatever you can.
Simple, light. Good for close quarters. One more.
Sev, get those weapons loaded.
Oh, I like this one. All packed up. Leaving now.
Copy that. See you in a sec.
واو. ماشي انا مش عارف انا جبت.
Hey, Twinkle Toss, we got a situation down here.
I'm quite aware.
يا اسطى انت ما عملتش ليه كده معايا وهو عمال يقول لك كابيتو. بقول لك كابيتو 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 ما عملتش ليه معايا كده يعني.
Sev, bring the car. Let's not keep Case waiting.
Sev, C4.
عايز ارجع للاوضه. انا عايز اجيب سلاح حلو. شوت 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 شوت. خدت شويه اسلحه مش قد كده يعني. حلو السي 4 ده اتاخد من فيلم داي هارد.
Showtime. Stand back.
Igniting. Remember, we won't have long before the security response arrives.
Time for the grand finale. Sev.
Did it work?
Flawlessly.
فلوس 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 فلوس. عبيني. فعلا حرمه وبتحط الفلوس في عبها. كل دي فلوس ما خلونيش اخد.
about to have company. Get out here and grab yourself a gun, Sev. Right on time, light him up!
كمل يا اسطى. هنديهم هدية؟ فاير ان ذا هول. ألف هنا وشفا يا شباب. لا معلش. بالفلوس كده. احنا نسينا كيف. لا انا بشتريه يا عم. انا هيجيلي حاجه من سوني يا عم اشرف، ما انت عارف يعني. انا عملت له بري اوردر، قلت لو ما عجبنيش ابيعه.
Oh no, the canal is too good for you. The disrespect you've shown to our establishment.
يا اسطى انت هتاخد واحده في وشك دلوقتي حته ذا بانشر، هخرم لك عينيك. ايوه هات السكينه دي. اي انا دوست عليه والله. تحمر يالا.
Our establishment. This is gonna get real uncomfortable now.
دوست الكليكتين، الكليكه يمين والكليكه شمال مش شغاله. هو حمار ولا ايه؟ النهارده موسم الفراستريشن، امبارح كان موسم المتعه، النهارده الجانب المزعج من اللعبه، بس يعني ستيل يعني. ما انا عملت كده بالظبط يا اسطى. هاردوير. ماني 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 ماني. هذه السكينه اللي جوه تبقى. سوري بقى يا شباب. تا 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 تا. بس لحد يعني. يلا بينا. ما فهمتوش انتوا مش فاهمين. ماشي يا رجال. شغال من شوية والله، بس احنا قاعدين شوية النهارده. Let's go.
We're out, Case. Coming your way.
يلا رجالة.
Let's go. Got a boat in the canals with our name on it.
يعني فعلا هم المرة دي عاملين كامبين جامد، عاملين كامبين جامد قوي. في مشاكل بس هم عاملين كامبين جامد يا شباب. اي حد يسألكوا قولوا له جابريال ان احنا ان كول اوف ديوتي عامله كامبين جامد. ده اولد سكول.
Maintain distance, people. Try to flank it.
This hinders your ability to complete. انت يا اسطى مسكت دماغك جالك صداع؟ جالك ايه؟
Maintain distance, people. Try to flank them.
بص هيرجعني ورا شويه. المهمه دي فيها مشكله في السيف بتاعها. دي فلوس؟ ايه ده؟ هو انت حاطط فلوس في الليفل؟ انت بتهزهز؟ فلوس اهي، فلوس اهي. هتديهاني طيب ما تاخدها، ليه ما باخدهاش؟ ايه ده بقى؟ كراب. هو ما بيضربش ليه؟ هو ده صح؟ انت منيهم؟ ايه يا اسطى؟ ايه يا اسطى؟ هتضربني امتى؟ هتضربني امتى؟ هتضربني امتى؟ هتحس ان انا موجود امتى؟ هو انا خافي؟ خاف انا؟ انتوا رايحين فين؟ استنوني. انتوا رايحين فين يا جدعان؟ هات الكلاشنكوف. انا اسف يا اسطى بس انا ما كنتش. كمان اوعي. الصوت متأخر عن الصورة ازاي يا شباب بس؟ فعلا؟
We went through everything inside that box from the casino's archive room. 7 Felix were right. Lutazis were moving Pantheon cash through the casino. With a healthy cut in return. We got the breakthrough we needed. Records of wire transfers to a lab in southern Iraq. Directed to Matt V. Gusev. We'll notify Adler so he can take a look on the ground. Time is short. But if we can get our hands on the Pantheon's bioweapon expert, we just might break this whole thing open.
Nice day. Look, you know you're in D.C., not fucking Alaska, right?
لا يا جدعان الصوت مش متأخر على الصورة.
Hey, Felix. We'll get back to that.
فوتت عليا انا ما فهمتش اللي حصل. لا يا جدعان الصوت مش متأخر على الصورة. في حاجة غلط مش عارف. يعني انا اللي صوتي مش متأخر؟ انا اللي صوتي انا ولا صوت اللعبة؟ يت يعني انا صوتي مش ماشي مع الكلام ولا ايه؟
How stimulating.
It's a frame up. Pantheon's activities will point right to Saddam Hussein. Goose is heading to the Kuwaiti airport as we speak.
Oh, that airport's in a war zone. Even if we head your way soon, can we reach it?
I have a SATCOM connection in the area. It might be willing to help us.
Might. Well, if we leave within the hour, we'll make it by morning. Out. Ace, let's get ready.
غريبة جدا، ده أول مرة تحصل دي.
You were impressive today. Finally, the legendary Felix Newman in action.
Yes.
What's on your mind?
I need to make a confession.
I'm the furthest thing from a priest, Felix, but speak your piece.
I'm deeply ashamed of my actions in the casino.
You take this non-violence thing seriously.
Quite. But then I saw Lutazzi thugs beating a defenseless man mercilessly, a senseless act of power.
No one is innocent in that city.
Afterwards, when I encountered the guard outside the vault, I lost control. In my eyes, he transformed into the avatar of everything I now reject. So I punished him.
Good. It was probably less than what he
في حاجة
deserved.
غلط أصلا. الصورة ابتدت تبوظ ومنغمشة
I use
أهو.
myself to this endeavor. I am no better than the very enemy we seek to stop, yeah?
Save your pity for the victims. You did what was needed to be done.
No. My reaction was
والله نفسي مرة أتفرغ وألعب لعبة استراتيجي.
Harrow and the
بس مع
Pantheon won't be
الأسف.
stopped with kind words and gentle attitudes.
There is always a choice. Savati.
بص شايفين النغمشة دي مش موجودة عندنا في الشاشة، النغمشة اللي انتوا شايفينها دي. طيب هو كده كده أصلا الوقت اتأخر خلاص، أنا داخل على الساعة 1. ماشي. فأنا
Perhaps a reevaluation of my priorities is in order.
You hear back from Livingston?
No. But Felix sent him everything we know about Harrow and the Pantheon. Harrow might still have his ear. Or she doesn't. But he still doesn't trust us. Who fucking knows?
He's gotta be rattled out of the way.
ماشي. ارمور شريدر، تعال نشتري الارمور شريدر. اوكي جير ستيشن. تعالوا نعمل ايه؟ heavy duty increase total armor slots to 2 and increase receive. Vital. انا ماشي الساعة عندنا داخل على 1، انا عندي شغل الصبح يا عم. حلو كده. سمينها قوية جدا يعني مقارنة باللي كنا يعني. وانا عايز اعرف انا فاضل لي قد ايه يعني من البورد دي. شكلها يعني مثلا خلص اللعبة بكرة صح؟ بنروح الكويت كتير اوي احنا. لا هي اللعبة مش المشكلة، لان انا مش شايف المشكلة يا جماعة. انا سامع الصوت تمام وشايف اللعبة تمام. فرق توقيت ساعتين.
Captain Sims. Not now. Figured if I stuck around hell long enough, I'd see the devil. How's he look?
حتى القرايات عندي هنا تمام.
I left Langley because of you. Remember that, don't you?
Central Command, huh?
It's above the table. Unambiguous. Maybe you should give it a try.
No, it's a little late for me. So can you get us to Gusev?
I can get you close. But Doc, this is it for me. I'm on a different path now. Once you get what you need, I'm out.
It's the second time I've heard that this week.
Lord, give me strength. Get your crew. Leave them 5.
عايزين حتة كده زي الدخلات بتاعت كول اوف ديوتي. اللعبة هنجت.
Eagle 2 breaking formation. 5 fixed out. That tank line should keep the Iraqis busy enough for you to slip in behind. Gusev won't see you coming. That's him. Top lab rap for an army of mercs.
Gusev's developing the Pantheon's bioweapon. He'll know what they're planning. Wonder how he sleeps at night.
You got some advice for him?
Gusev still better be in one piece when we find him.
This is a war zone, Adler. That's why I'm coming with. Make sure you don't mess it up.
Guess that makes us a fire team, right, Gage?
Cut the chatter and get moving. I'll be your eyes, so stay on calm.
أنا متردد بصراحة يا جدعان.
Hold up, Case. Adler's on the hunt, but we still got rules out here. I trust you'll follow.
Let's go.
Coalition airstrikes are wrapping up. That's our cue.
Entrance is on the other side of the parking lot. Let's move.
بحب أنا الانعكاسات اللي في اللينس دي من أيام كول اوف ديوتي 4 مودرن وورفير الأولانية خالص.
Pick up the pace, Case. We can't afford to waste time.
Hold up, Adler. We don't know what's up ahead. Let's find out.
صراحة يا جدعان الشغل بصراحة مش هكدب عليكم يعني مش هينفع ماشي. آسف جدا. سيبكم النهارده وبكرة إن شاء الله هيبقى عندنا الويك إند أو عندكم انتوا الويك إند. أنا عندي مش هيبقى الويك إند بس هحاول بقى بقدر الإمكان إن أنا أظبط لكم الدنيا وأقعد معاكم فترة أكتر. ماشي يلا أشوفكم إن شاء الله الستريم اللي جاي إن شاء الله. يلا.